Okay, so when we talk about Batman prodigies and characters who have risen due to Batman's direct influence, Nightwing is without a shadow of a doubt on top of that list. If Batman had a favourite child in the Bat family, it would be Dick Grayson, no doubt. Seen as though Batman's greatest success is Nightwing, he is the beacon for what a hero should be. Nightwing is an integral part of any adaptation for the Bat family. Like there's adaptations, for example the DCAU, where they skip out on characters like Tim Drake and Jason Todd, and like you just cannot do that for Nightwing. There's a lot of people who claim that Dick Grayson is irrelevant and he's overrated as a matter of fact, but we need to remember who put Robin on the map, the original, Dick Grayson. Robin has become the face of all sidekicks. His time training and being mentored by Batman allows him to accomplish what Bruce has always struggled to do, which is to heal from the pain of the death of his parents. And in return, Robin helps Batman to open up and not be alone. Batman himself acknowledges how big of a role Dick played in his life, and he thinks about what he might have become without him. Alfred was pretty much the only person Bruce ever let help him. Dick Grayson was his first helper, his first son. He refers to him as Dad at times. They both relate in the sense of their trajectory in life was founded in tragedy, and Bruce is there to witness Dick's. And he takes it upon himself to make sure Dick doesn't end up like him. And Batman's motivation for becoming Batman in the first place was to make sure nobody goes through the same pain he went through. So of course when he sees the same thing that happened to him happen to Grayson, he's like, no way this kid isn't going to bring his parents' killer to justice, and he takes it upon himself to deliver that justice to Dick.
Hello, Dick. I'm Bruce Wayne. I'm sorry about your loss.
I heard you paid for all this.
How are you holding up?
I'll be okay. At least, that's what everyone's been telling me. It's just not fair.
His parents were all the family that boy had.
That's why I've decided to take him in as a foster son, if he'll have me.
I need to talk to Aqualad. The rest of you, hit the showers and head home. Just Aqualad.
Just Aqualad. What's this?
Training, hand-eye coordination.
One-on-one?
If you think you can handle it.
Now when it comes to Robin, Dick established a legacy in and of itself. The Robin mantle has been passed down to like 5 different people. Robin is an iconic legacy mantle. As we see Dick grow up, he started as a 13-year-old boy to now a 30-year-old man. He has taken on so many different roles and evolved many times throughout his history, but at his core he remains a beacon of light and hope throughout the DC universe, and he brings that to Batman's life. Batman becomes so much less dark and broody when he's with Dick, and I mean no matter how much Batman tries to put it on, he needs a shoulder. He needs Dick Grayson. And what's unique about Dick Grayson is he's in a unique position where he can criticize Batman's decisions when he needs to. And really, he is the first person to see through Batman's facade. Like, Batman has friends over at the Justice League, but they really aren't as close, right? Superman and those guys have a mutual respect thing for Bruce, but there's also like an unnerving tension between them, because they find Batman very serious and kind of scary, right? But Dick can joke around with him. And he's the first person Batman reveals his identity to. And before Dick, you know, Batman was very mission-only centered, right? If Alfred ever told him to take the night off, he would be repulsed by the idea. But when Dick comes along and Batman decides to take responsibility for him, and Bruce has to sacrifice some of the mission to be his father. And we see that when Bruce's world is shattered, he's left with nothing. He doesn't really see his parents' killer brought to justice. But him helping Dick do that shows Dick that there is still hope left in the world, and the effect it has on Dick is he's able to maintain that hope in humanity and people, because Batman was there to give him exactly what he needed. And we see Batman saying this in The Young Justice.
So he could turn out like you?
So that he wouldn't.
The goal was to allow Dick to not turn into what Batman became. Bruce as an adolescent is really dark and isolated, right? But he allows for Dick to grow as his own hero by letting him lead his own team, because Teen Titans is Robin's team. Young Justice is a team of other teenage sidekicks coming together and figuring things out for themselves. They're all essentially just friends, right? Like when it comes to the Justice League, they do grow very close together and whatnot, but in a lot of adaptations they are more so colleagues to each other, who only ever come together when the planet is in danger. With Young Justice and Teen Titans, they literally live together, train together, they hang out together, and this is what builds on Dick's greatest strength. Some of the best attributes surrounding his character are his leadership qualities. Going back to when he became the leader of the Teen Titans, him being able to open up and connect to his teammates allowed him to forge bonds and build trust. With the plethora of different characters throughout the DC universe, I do enjoy what they did with Dick's character in Young Justice, where he's very eager to lead the team. He hyper focuses on wanting to prove himself to Batman as a competent leader, and when a mission goes wrong, he realizes that perhaps he is not ready to lead yet and allows Aqualad to take charge.
How could my first mission as leader go so wrong?
You do have the most experience. Fighting alongside Batman, your roles are defined. You two do not need to talk.
Oh, so I'm supposed to hold everyone's hands? Who am I kidding? You should lead as Calder.
I accept the burden until you are ready to lift it from my shoulders. I am not fit for command.
Who do you recommend to take your place?
Artemis is too raw and untrusting. Kid Flash too rash and impulsive.
Making Robin the logical choice.
But he is so young. I cannot shift this burden to him. Not yet.
This is blatant in recent comics where Nightwing leads a Justice League-like team after the supposed death of the core Justice League members, and when Superman and those guys return, they basically say that they couldn't picture safer hands for the world to be in than that of Nightwing's, and he would like for Nightwing to lead the next super team to defend Earth, which would essentially be the Titans. Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman are in agreement that Dick would be best suited to lead the Earth's new heroes, as seen in his effort during the events of Dark Crisis. So in Tom King's run on Batman, Nightwing becomes a billionaire due to the death of Alfred, and his will is given to Dick. This is because Alfred was Bruce's legal guardian and was given a large amount of Wayne Industry stock. Alfred says he's proud of Dick, and he's proud of the heart, compassion and character that he possesses. He trusts him with his fortune, and Dick immediately starts using the money for Bloodhaven to build a better safety net. He starts a foundation to help with homelessness, affordable housing, public transport, prisoner rehabilitation, and healthcare. He names it the Alfred Pennyworth Foundation, and Dick starts to become a public figure with his philanthropy and as Titans leader Nightwing. I do enjoy Superman's relationship with Nightwing, with him admitting he is the best, and also a friend of his. Superman values Dick's morality and how much of a role model he is, so much so that he asks Nightwing to be a role model for his son Jonathan Kent as he's learning to be a hero. And this is a moment for Dick because he works for Batman, but his favourite superhero who he's always looked up to was Superman. And fun fact, it's actually Superman who inspires Dick to become Nightwing. When Dick wants to break off from Robin, Superman tells him about these Kryptonian vigilantes called Nightwing and Flamebird, and Dick takes the mantle for his own. What's awesome about Nightwing is that he embodies the heart and hope of Superman, coupled with the world of Batman, and the dark suit, the gritty style of Batman, and he is given his own city, Bloodhaven, and in some depictions it's almost in a worse state than Gotham. It's very run down, the economy is in the bin, and even more corrupt than Gotham, and like characters like Jim Gordon sort of hold Gotham together. Unfortunately, Bloodhaven, however, just doesn't have that, so it's really just an uphill battle for Nightwing. Nightwing is also a brother for the Robins after him. He lifts up Tim when he's struggling with his confidence, he lifts up Damian when he's struggling not being a dysfunctional human being, and he even lifted up Jason Todd when he's framed for killing FBI agents by a lookalike, and Nightwing gave Jason the benefit of the doubt and helped him clear his name, and it turned out it was Clayface who shapeshifted into Jason. Now, we have established that he has great character, but when it comes to his combat ability, Dick is one of the best fighters in the DC. Out of the 4 Robins, Dick has the most experience, most stamina, and most acrobatic ability. Like with Jason, he pretty much just admits he cannot go toe to toe with Batman in a fair fight. A lot of people bring up the time when Batman and Nightwing went all out against each other and Dick lands the last blow, ending the fight. Tom King wrote it, and he purposefully wrote it that way because he believes Nightwing would win in a fight against Batman. Now, a lot of mainstream adaptations unfortunately do present Dick as a lot weaker. In the Arkham games, he gets taken down by Harley Quinn and gets captured by the Penguin.
End of the line, Quinn.
Bad night! Eric! Bad night!
Need some help?
Good news. I found Penguin. He's right where we want him.
Cocky little bastard. You've been taking from me all night, Batman. It's time I did a little taking of my own.
Bat, I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
Well, ain't this cozy? You need to keep an eye on this one, Batman. He's a bit too careless for my liking. Come any closer, and you get to see the contents of his head.
And then the DCAU just completely disrespects him. He's always getting finessed to some capacity, or getting a body part dislocated or even broken. I mean, he gets completely bullied by a mind-controlled Batman. Then there are moments where Nightwing really did end up succeeding Batman, and he actually donned the cape and cowl himself, and Dick is really his own Batman. There are moments at first where he struggles to fit the role. He tells Alfred he feels like a fake, as if he's a kid doing a Batman voice, and Alfred tells him he needs to not copy Bruce, but to make Batman his own, and to really play the role to his strengths. Which motivates Dick, and we really see it in moments when he's talking to like the commissioner and he's talking to Batman, and I think he's suspicious of who's under the cowl, but he's talking to him as he usually would, giving him information, and he turns around and you know how Batman usually disappears? Like Dick is still there and he's like, oh, I thought you would be gone by now. And Dick is like, well, no, we're still talking. And there's also a moment where James Gordon Jr. is like, oh, we're playing hide and seek and he's gonna kill Barbara. And Dick goes behind him in the shadows and he's like, can I play too? And I'm like, yes, Nightwing is a good Batman, like he can really play Batman. But I think that ultimately Dick Grayson's character arc is him basically succeeding Batman, but not in the way of him becoming Batman, but becoming more than Batman, right? In terms of Nightwing, when he's leading these planetary level teams, when he's defending Earth, when he's leading the Justice League and whatnot, this is Nightwing really surpassing Batman and becoming his own character, not necessarily just donning the cape and cowl and being the same as Batman, to which he confessed when he was a kid he wanted to be Batman, but when he grew older he realized how consumed Batman is with the mission and he wants to be more. He wants to connect with people on a deeper level, form bonds and relationships, and I think that this is the best possible option for this beloved character, is for him to be Nightwing and for him to now grow as his own character in Bloodhaven. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the video. What do you think about Nightwing? Who is your favorite Bat family character? And I will see you guys in the next one.